Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rei-Lin, and today I'm going to be talking about a new game that is just about due to be released. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's a game that's been in development for over 4 years, and I think a lot of people have been waiting for this game because it looked awesome in most of the trailers, and it just seemed like it would be one of those games that it's a no-brainer AAA title that's going to come out and it's going to rock the socks off of everyone. And I think in a lot of ways it really does do that. And I thought the game was a hell of a lot of fun for the couple of days I got to play it. I got an invite from a streamer friend of mine, and I got in and was playing around pretty much for the entire weekend that it was up. And I really think they've done a really good job. This is an Ubisoft title, and I've never played any of the Tom Clancy Ghost Recon games in the past, so what I know is that this is the first one that is considered open world, and it is a very open world. But it's not a massive multiplayer game like, say, Defiance when it comes to a first-person shooter. It's still a little bit like The Division, in a way that you're basically in this world by yourself unless you team up with some other players or get some friends together and all group up. Otherwise, it's, your Skyrim with guns game. This is a massive, massive world, and you're alone in it except for yourself and your AI teammates. Now, first off, I know a lot of people were giving this game a lot of flack, and I didn't read too much into it. The main complaint, I think, was that people just overhyped the game for themselves, thinking that it was going to be something that it didn't turn out to be, and I'm not sure what that something might be. Everyone's obviously different. They might have thought this was going to be The Division, but like really, really good right out of the gate. And it's not that. It's not an RPG, so to say. It's not the same kind of MMO feeling of, leveling up and item grinding and hunting down bosses and going through dungeons. And it's none of that. It's basically just an open world, similar in a lot of ways, again, to what I would consider Defiance. But it's got a little bit of a section here during the beta that we could play, but it's still it's kind of just open. It's exactly what they said it would be. It's an open world. You can go anywhere and do almost anything at any time. There's side missions, there's main story missions, and there's just random missions that kind of pop up randomly as you're driving around. And of course, some missions are very specific to like the cartels and different bosses and factions of people that you meet in the game. So if you're driving the wrong faction's car in the wrong part of town, you're probably going to get attacked. So there's all kinds of little details in the game, and people were like also kind of giving the graphics a bunch of crap. And honestly, what you're seeing here, I had to turn my graphics down a lot on this game to get it to run a lot smoother. It is a CPU hog. You need a monster PC to really max this game out, and I think that's an acceptable thing. Most games these days seem to be well above the normal graphical power of most people's PCs, but you have a huge amount of stuff that you can mess with and turn on and turn off based on the specs of the PC that you're using. If you crank this game all the way up, it looks fucking amazing. I'm sorry to say, it really does look amazing, at least in my eyes. I mean, I don't have a 4K monitor, so I couldn't turn it up crazy, crazy high on the resolution, but there's so many little details and the ambient sounds and the sounds of the gear and just every little thing about the game. It really does show that they've tried to put a lot of polish on the game, graphically, in the sound department, the gameplay. Everything seems to have a lot of work put into it. Even the animations, the controls. Now, to me, took a little bit of getting used to because, again, I came in thinking like maybe a lot of other people did. It'd be kind of like Defiance. It'd be kind of like The Division. But it's not really. You're going to have to set up your controls and probably give it a good couple of hours before you really start to slip into this game in a way that it starts to feel right to you. It did feel weird when I first played it. I was kind of not getting into it, especially with the driving being more arcadey and not like Gran Turismo when it came to the handling of the vehicles. But as I played a little bit more, I started to see why you wouldn't want it to be 100% realistic, because there's just too much going on in the game. Too many places you need to get to that if you had like realistic physics on any of the vehicles, you would just roll off the road into a ditch 9 times out of 10, especially when you start getting different factions attacking you while you're on the road. There's side missions like this. I had to steal a helicopter, for example, and fly it over to a rebel base and set it down, and boom, I'd get a mission complete. It took me a while to get used to the controls on the helicopters and the airplanes, all of which are dotted all over the map, even the small section of map that we had to play during the beta. And so getting around is actually really, really easy because there seems to be helicopters everywhere. And I do recommend that you drive because there's tons of vehicles. Some have weaponry attached to them as well. But flying seems to be your go-to get around the map kind of thing, because if you had to drive everywhere, it's going to take you a lot of extra time, whereas you could just hop in a helicopter and fly the couple of miles away that you need to go. There's a lot of terrain differences. There's a lot of height differences. So there's, really low valleys, and there's really high mountain tops and mountain peaks, which have not the best roads. So it's easy to roll off a cliff somewhere if you're not careful. So just in a lot of ways, most of the time, it's just easier to grab a helicopter and fly around. Overall, I really am enjoying the game, even just playing by myself here with AI teammates. The AI is actually really good. Your teammates don't seem to get stuck behind rocks or in buildings. You can give them orders on where to go and help you out in a lot of ways. They are just like any other teammate that you would hope would communicate with you. When they spot enemies, they tell you where they are. They'll pop up on your mini-map, and you can give them orders. There's several skills in the game, one called Sync Shot, where you can set up one of your AI teammates to shoot at a particular target after you take a shot at a different target. So you could actually kill multiple people at one time, because you want to try to, if you can, not go what they say in Payday 2, loud. You don't want to just go in guns blazing, because this isn't the Division. You're not there to take, a lot of damage and then just heal back up with a heal skill. You really don't have that option. You can take a few hits and then your screen starts going dark. You have to find a place to hide. You don't have an on-screen health bar or any indication of really how healthy you are or not. So you really need to be careful when you start opening up on the enemies. You take too much damage, you will die. Your teammates can res you one time during a battle, but after that you go down and then you will have to just respawn at a checkpoint. And so you have to be careful. You generally want to use the surroundings to your advantage, whether that's to get high up as a sniper and take people out in that fashion. Sniper rifles seem to kill anybody in one hit, especially if you hit them in the head. Or wait until it's raining or there's the cover of darkness, because it's really easy to sneak around at night and take people out through windows and that kind of thing. So the stealthy approach seems to be what's encouraged. But you can go in guns blazing, especially on the easy difficulty setting, which is what I picked at the start, just because, well, I didn't see the need to punish myself right out of the gate. So I've heard that if you put it on the hardest difficulty, the NPCs will kill you in one hit. It doesn't matter what they hit you with, and you can also kill them in turn in one hit. So again, stealth seems to be where the Ghost Recon series heads. So for a much more realistic gameplay style than any other game that I've played before, especially, like I said, Division or Defiance. So overall, the game, I think, it's really not optimized if you're talking about graphic settings and stuff like that, because it is the closed beta. But overall, I really didn't have any problems. I didn't get any random crashes. I didn't see my AI teammates sinking into the ground or floating through the sky out, nothing really weird or glitchy. There was a glitch that would allow you to get outside the map boundary that was set for the beta, but I didn't really use it. I didn't really care. I was watching a streamer friend of mine at the time, and he was doing it, which encouraged tons of other streamers to do it too. So he got to see pretty much the entire map that you're going to be able to wander around in, and it was massively huge. It's just, you cannot imagine how big this map is. So it's not going to be nearly as claustrophobic as like the Division, and not anywhere close to kind of as barren as Defiance was. This is a very lush environment. There's trees, waterfalls, day and night cycles, thunderstorms, dust storms, and it just looks so cool to me because it's one of those games that I haven't really had an opportunity to try before. You know, a super realistic game that's got all these elements that's sort of like an RPG, but sort of like a tactical shooter. So I don't mind having AI teammates in this, or even real teammates if I can get some people to join me online. Uh, but it doesn't hinder the game at all to be by yourself. The AI, like I said, are very good uh, at doing what they have to do to help you out. They will res you if you go down. They will mark targets for you. They will use night vision. They will tell you when enemies are around you. So overall, the presentation and the polish on this game, even in the beta, even though it's not 100% optimized, it's still really good. I never had a beta that went so smooth. I didn't have any server hiccups, just nothing. It's really getting close to release, and I think at release there's going to be almost no trouble. I mean, the servers seem to be able to handle everything right out of the gate. Um, and it's just the gameplay itself was really interesting and fun for me personally. Like I said, people were hating on the game. I think just thought it was going to be something that it didn't turn out to be. It is a tactical shooter, and you can see that I can knock people out and drag them around. And it plays a little bit, in a lot of ways, to the Metal Gear Solid series, if you've ever played that game. You want to kind of stay in the shadows and work around the maps and take out enemies with a little bit more subtlety than just go and, balls to the wall machine gunning. Now when it comes to balls to the wall and machine gunning, you can do what I'm doing here and just start taking people out. This does alert people because they see the dead bodies and they will call for help, and that help will arrive in the form of backup if you take too long lingering about. But your teammates will assist you, they will open fire, and they will be good shots. They do kill NPCs just as much as you do. In some cases, you can use them as bullet sponges to guard you while you take out guys from a flanking position. So I lucked out, and this place didn't know that I was there until I really honestly started opening fire, which meant that I could get into a good position to take down 3 or 4 people at once. Generally, there's a stronger NPC at some of these bases, like a lieutenant that can take more damage, and usually runs away with a vehicle of some kind if you're not on the ball and take him out first. So there again is a lot more strategic elements to this game than you would first think. And the stealth really does work to your advantage. It's finally one of those things where the stealth actually isn't that impossible to pull off, and it's to your advantage. It saves you a lot of time and effort, because if you can silently do your objective, most of the time you don't have to go through too many NPCs to do it, and it's a lot of fun when you do. So overall, I think the game is really well done. I'm not sure how much better it's going to get if they keep adding more missions and things to the game. That way nothing does get stale. But like I said, there's a lot of randomness to some of the missions that pop up, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like this base here eventually would respawn a different mission, and there was missions where I'm just driving around and it suddenly says, hey, there's a boss cartel guy, grab him, steal his car, and then you can go get information somewhere else to help you along. Or extra supplies, like what I'm grabbing here is extra food, extra water, extra medical supplies for the rebels that I need. Sometimes I can call them in and they will assist me. And so it's always nice to get this stuff, and it gives you skill points which add to the character, because unlike like the Defiance where you just gain levels and gain stats and wear armor, this is mainly focused around skills. Like weapon, you focus on your weapons, making your weapons hold more ammunition, be more accurate, or you can focus on the little drones. You can spot more people. You can give it a longer range or a longer battery life. You can up your stamina. You can allow your squad to spot more people at once, or do a longer or more complicated sync shot where they'll take out multiple people at once with you, as opposed to just one at a time. And just a myriad of skills and techniques that you can get as you level up and gain skill points. So there is an aspect of an RPG here, but it's not just boom in your face all the time, forcing you, to use all this stuff. I didn't even use it at the beginning, and I was still able to do all the missions and really have a lot of fun. So I think this game, when it releases in early March, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really hoping that they continue to add to this game, because right now what they've got is a hell of a game and a lot of fun, in my opinion. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to get it out there and let everyone know that I think Ghost Recon Wildlands is really fun and really worth the purchase. If you got a lot of friends that can get in there and help you out, I think you'll have a hell of a lot of fun going loud or just stealthing these missions out. I really think it's a beautiful game, and it's got a lot of potential for the future. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please press the like button down below. It does help out my channel. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel, you can click down at the bottom of your screen right now. That'll get you all the latest updates every time I upload something new to my channel. Thanks a lot, take care, and I'll talk to you all next time.